Welcome to Blitz. I'm Brian Carter here at Tallulah Falls with the Lady Indians head coach Matt Heyl. First of all, congratulations on your state championship. Unbelievable. Thank you so much for being willing to talk about your team a little bit. But just in general, what does it feel like to be a state champion? What was it like the moment that it happened? And how's it kind of sunk in for you?
The moment it happened, it seemed like it wasn't quite real at that point. It was just like I was so happy. It was more overjoyed that the girls did it and that they accomplished what they set out to. I don't know if anything personally went in. It was just like extreme joy and happiness and being proud of them and their efforts. It didn't really feel real. It felt like a huge game that we won, but thinking state championship, it didn't register quite that much to me, but it was pretty awesome.
And it's going to be one of those that, like, seeing other teams in different sports around our area win, it's sort of like, and you even mentioned this before, just sort of like Christmas. I mean, it's the gift that keeps giving as time goes on. So, congratulations again. It's an incredible accomplishment. But we'll talk about the culture of this program. This is a team that, for Tallulah Falls, has been the most consistent program in getting to state, being in the mix for a region championship or area championship and making playoff runs. But what had to change within this season for this team to be able to go from that to being able to be a state champion?
Yeah, it was kind of like you said, there was a good culture, and around that was expectation to get to state each year, and we had gotten to Sweet 16 several times. But like you said, what broke us out of that? And we faced maybe one of our toughest competitions of the year in Galloway in the Sweet 16. But I think the girls, a while back, I would say right at the end of September, beginning of October, just something happened with kind of the chemistry, the bond that we had. They actually started trusting, I guess, in a way, on the court, off the court. And also, we went through a time where it just wasn't that much fun, like honestly. And then we all got together for a team meeting one time and said, the rest of the season we're gonna have fun. We went out to practice and had fun. Like we started smiling at each other again. And it was almost like we were at a burnout spot. And then fun kind of got us back into it. It did.
It goes from like that feeling of I have to go to practice to I get to go to practice.
Exactly.
That type of thing.
That's what it was.
That is awesome, and it definitely showed because the confidence grew in the team. It seemed like, and it did seem like they were having more and more fun as the year went on, especially closing out with 10 straight wins. The team has never done that before, so that's pretty awesome. What was it about that run that sort of kept the next one coming along as well?
It was each one fueled us for the next one. We were just like, man, we can win. We can keep up with anyone, and we have a good chance at going far. I don't know if we knew we would go all the way to state championship, but I gave the girls a few, before that 10 streak run, I said at one point in the year, and I said, let's win 16 straight. And so the girls didn't quite get it, but I was like, you guys know what that means? And they were like, no. I was like, that means we don't lose and we win the state championship at the end. We only lost one in there. We were 15-1 after we said that and talked about that. So, and that was against another team that just won a state championship in 3A with Morgan County. So to lose to them, it's okay. So
that's incredible, and this is a team that broke so many records along the way and just had that added pressure of keeping that history going too. I think you beat eight or nine ranked opponents throughout the season as well, and the win streak and all those things are phenomenal. But as you mentioned, this is a team that had to navigate the highs and lows, and one of those lows, high was you reaching 100 career wins. Also, congratulations on that. But you had a health scare of your own. Talk about that and how the team sort of rallied around you. How special, in a way, that was for you to experience.
Yeah, it was the most amazing part about that was I did go through the health scare and came back, and I really wasn't myself, I would say, and a little bit more negative than I had ever really been with them. Personally, wasn't having as much fun as I needed and loving on them really the way I should. And we actually also had a team meeting about that where I just kind of apologized. And that was the same team meeting that we said, hey, let's start having fun again. And I told them I was going to do everything I could in my power to help them have fun and to help them win. And I think that they knew at that point that I cared about them, that I cared about them caring about each other. And it was a touching moment. And then kind of after that, they just went off and started winning everything.
So it was after that meeting is the 15-1 stretch that you're talking about. And everyone had more fun. They started trusting each other more. You were having more fun. So that's the recipe for winning a state title.
Having fun. A lot of hard work, but yeah. So lots of fun too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's always a little bit of luck in there. You know, any team that wins a state title knows that you have to have a little bit of luck, whether it's in a draw or a play or two that goes your way or whatever.
Right.
It didn't seem like you had much luck with the draw of the tournament. You're facing 3 teams out of the same region. And by the way, you mentioned Galloway, so if Tallulah Falls had not beaten Galloway in that game, the Final Four would have been, I think, all teams from the same region. And at one point, all those teams were state ranked in the top 5 at some point during the year. So not an easy draw at all. Talk about especially the Mount Pisgah and Mount Bethel games. Those are 2 teams that in separate polls were both ranked number 1. What was the approach like? What was your message to the team about being able to face those Goliath programs?
So we knew they were tough. We knew they were ranked higher. Statistically, they were better individually as a team. So we knew we had to do something special to beat them. But the whole time we knew we could. We talked about we just had to play better in one match against them. And some of the other things, you know, we did some fun things together outside of school. We, you know, went and played mini golf together and stuff. But one of the best team bonding things was actually sitting there watching film against, we did it against other teams too, but Mount Pisgah, we just sat there. Each girl had their own assignment. They had to track a certain player and all their stats.
Oh, cool.
And they loved it. And then they saw a whole match, how it progressed. I actually started with Mount Pisgah, showing them their highlights of their hits. And the girls were like, why are you showing us this? And I was like, so you're ready when we warm up against them. You've already seen the best that they've got. And so don't be scared. Get rid of that fear before we play. But then after that, we just watched film. And I was like, here's how they normally play. Yes, those are highlights, but this we can beat. They're not a whole highlight reel all the time.
Right. You just have to survive those runs at times.
And they're going to get some highlights. I mean, they were very athletic. And we did the same thing for both teams. We just prepared. I watched film after film after film. The girls watched mainly one film and just focused on them. And then we practiced. Actually, we would set up their exact defense in practice. I actually got out there and played too, so I was a player on the other team. So before the match even happened, we knew where to hit and who to serve to. I didn't have to tell them where to serve. We had numbers picked out in all 6 of their rotations, and each player knew which person to serve to in every rotation. And serving all year has been kind of our bread and butter.
Oh, it's been so strong this year.
What helped us in those matches.
To that point, you had 3 players that eclipsed the single season record for aces, or 2 did, and one was really close. That's Sarah Jennings. He's the all-time leader in aces here. 3 of the best servers he ever had, and even there were several more down the line that had a really good year serving. But specifically the 5 seniors you have, I don't want to, you just want a state title, but I know you're a coach, so you're already drawing up the playbook for next year a little bit. What can you say about what it means to lose a group so special like that, especially at Sarah Jennings even?
They were a core, and she's the leader of that core, and arguably the best player we've ever had here. So to lose her is a big deal, but we also have to step up. Hopefully players, that are, left behind are gonna feel the need to step up in her place. And it's going to take several players to do that. I mean, we're losing 5 seniors, And someone's got to come set. Someone's got to be our next go-to hitter. And we do have a couple, key players left. I mean, Addie was a great offensive weapon for us this year, but we're also losing several. So those girls will be. It's a very tough loss, like losing that core, and also their leadership. I mean, who's going to step up and lead when they're gone?
It definitely has to be a little bit easier knowing that they ended on such a great note. There's that. So last question for you. This team, amazing, 14-0 at home. There's no place like home, is what the saying is, right? So, I know you've talked before about how special it is to play in front of the fans and how they've always got y'all's back. And I love how they feed off each other, the team and the fans and vice versa. What would you say about what it was like to just be able to play at home in front of them and how big of an impact the fans had?
I think it was a big impact. I mean, we were a great team, but they had our backs and they supported us the whole time. Like I've told some people, it's like there's 6 people on the court, but we've kind of got a 7th person on the court with those fans cheering us on and having our back like the whole time. Not just in the gym, but in the halls. Like always congratulating us. It was like, I've never felt that before. Not just when we got to Final Four and stuff. They were just like that the whole year.
Every home match.
Supportive no matter where we were. And that was huge. I mean, people had to come to us and beat us on our court with those fans, and my girls playing, everywhere, sacrificing their body. I mean, it's tough to beat both those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what was it like for you? I'm sure you got maybe some chills seeing the fans show up at the state championship and this mass number of
just
people.
The school support to get all of them there, and then the fact that they all wanted to go and be there for that moment. And of course, a little more pressure on us. We don't want to let them down. But it was just like, it was kind of significant a little bit, but we were home on the state bracket. We had a little H next to our name. And then we brought our home fans, and it was like, we just took that court as our home court. It felt good.
Yeah, so we'll change that. 15-0 at home.
That's right.
All right, well, congratulations again on your state title, and look forward to you doing it again next year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.